And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Today we are reacting live to some headlines. We got a little weather radar out there. Looks like the Appalachians are receiving some moisture, and the Rocky Mountains, we got some scattered showers. But right now we're gonna react. We're gonna do something a little bit different. So let's get in to our headlines. We are dangerously close to 40,000 subscribers also, so congratulations to anybody who stuck around this long. I am gonna go into my YouTube studio here and let's see if we can get a live count of subscribers while we're trying to find some other items. Analytics. Here we go. Ooh, look at this. We got our live subscribe count. Okay, now I just gotta get this popped up on the screen. Bear with me as people trickle through here. There we go. Alright, so we got our subscribe count. Super awesome. Super incredible. We're changing the world one subscriber at a time. Let me make that a little smaller, if I can. There we go. Okay. We'll make that a little smaller on the screen. But I'm happy with that. Thank you so much for subscribing, guys. It helps tremendously. Yeah, let's get into some headlines here. Get some live reaction. Gonna need to pull up a window. I'm definitely doing everything live. So we're gonna get a new window. And let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Let's go. Let's do some climate change news. I'm interested. We're going to go to polarbearsinternational.org. Let's see if I can pull this up on the screen for everybody to see. This is all live. I had no pre-planned news outlet for this video. I'm just kind of winging it here, but let's just I don't really have a political bias or anything. I'm just a regular old guy. So we're gonna see what Polar Bears International has to say. I didn't know that they had a thing called Polar Bears International till I just saw it. So it sounds interesting because I think it would be super awesome to see polar bears in real life and take like a trip up to northern Manitoba. I think that'd be kind of cool to do on the channel. So alright, so we got Polar Bears International pulled up on the screen. They have some headlines. Let's react. Will I donate to help polar bears? I don't know a lot about their organization, so right now I'm gonna say not right now. Take action, climate actions under 18, climate actions 18 plus, why does it matter? Global climate warming, carbon emissions, melting sea ice, polar bears need sea ice. I mean, I don't know how they're just gonna make more ice, but let's see. Latest news, just for fun, all articles. What do polar bears do? Holy cow, I think this is what I need. Can we geoengineer the Arctic, and should we? That's interesting. Alright, I've heard about geoengineering, like they spray the skies to you know, reflect the sun, or maybe to create rain or snow. Let's see what this says. It's by Dr. Flavio Linier, Chief Climate Scientist. Alright, what does it say? Number 1, stop emitting greenhouse gases. That'd be kind of hard to do. Actively cool the planet through geoengineering or climate intervention, a deliberate modification of Earth's climate to reduce the worst outcomes of greenhouse gas-driven climate change. Geoengineering has long been a taboo topic among scientists and in politics because it's similar to treating the symptoms of a disease rather than its root cause. Also, humans have a track record of creating new problems when trying to fix existing ones. On the other hand, climate change is an urgent matter that requires multiple creative approaches. Types of geoengineering: stratospheric aerosol injection. The science is fairly well understood. The primary SRM idea is based on a well-known natural analog. Explosive volcanic eruptions inject sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, creating aerosols. Costs may be feasible. The amount of sulfur dioxide we would need to inject into the stratosphere to combat the warming from greenhouse gases is not huge compared to how much humans already emit into the lower part of the atmosphere through industrial activities. It would be a significant effort to get the sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, but costs might be smaller than estimated damages from increased extreme weather events. I mean, I'm telling you what, I already feel like it's cold enough where I live. I mean, we had our first frost like September 7th. And part of me wonders, like, are there natural cycles that we don't really have records of? I mean, I know they've been keeping pretty good records of weather since like maybe the mid 1800s. Maybe it's, I don't know. I mean, I believe that there's a lot of pollution and a lot of like nasty stuff in the air and things like that. But I wonder if some of these cycles are natural. But you know what? I don't know. Like, I know where there's big cities, there's like temperatures are warmer by like 5 to 7 to 10 degrees. Like, it varies, but like I know Chicago is warmer than the suburbs, and I know Minneapolis, St. Paul is warmer than, 45 miles away in a smaller town. So it's like, I know humans can kind of change the climate in big cities. I don't know. I just don't know enough about all this stuff. So I'm not sure how to react. Termination shock, perhaps the most worrisome. What if sulfuric aerosol injection were terminated before we managed to curb greenhouse gas emissions? Called termination shock. This scenario would see global temperatures jump to whatever greenhouse gas concentration level we've reached within just a few years. A potentially extremely disruptive warming rate. Governance. Who decides how much sulfuric aerosol injection to deploy? What is the optimal level, and for whom? Given current world affairs, it's difficult to imagine that countries would easily agree upon these important details. Sea ice thickening. In a warming world, Arctic sea ice extent shrinks and the ice gets thinner, and thin sea ice in turn is more vulnerable to break up and melt during summer, accelerating its overall decline. One idea is therefore to artificially thicken sea ice whenever it forms by pumping ocean water into onto the ice. The water will freeze and thicken the ice, helping it survive for longer, although it would not necessarily increase the ice extent. The pumps would be operated by energy from wind turbines. Huh. That's interesting. Holy cow. A lot of work, huh? Arguments for sea ice thickening, footprint, and flexibility. Pumping water onto sea ice is among the least intrusive geoengineering methods proposed, essentially amplifying the natural process of ice growth. It could also be deployed strategically in places of particular importance, such as communities where they rely on the sea ice for mobility. As sea ice forms in slightly different places every year, the pumps would have to be mobile. Governance deployed at small scale, this approach could be governed by local authorities in coordination with federal agencies and governments, akin to a ski resort that makes its own snow. This could be more feasible than larger scale interventions which trigger more complicated governance issues. Arguments against sea ice thickening, scalability. Yeah. Like, how the heck would you scale that? That sounds crazy. For this method to have an Arctic-wide impact, millions of pumps would need to be installed, and many of them on sea ice. Installing, maintaining, and removing such technology on dynamic sea ice is logistically challenging and costly. Yeah. Sea ice albedo management. This idea tries to increase the albedo or reflectivity of sea ice by spreading hollow glass beads onto existing sea ice. The glass beads would help reflect back incoming sunlight, keeping the sea ice cool so it could survive longer. There you go. Let's just contaminate the earth with glass beads. Let's hope there's no lead in the glass. Like, I don't know. How would they make that? Just like heat sand from a desert or something? I don't even know. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. You just, like, if you could make the glass beads by heating sand from the ocean, like, maybe it wouldn't be like a contamination issue. As long as the glass beads don't break when you're like walking on the beach and you're like shredding up your feet. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but that sounds crazy. I mean, I guess if you're trying to save the earth, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, but I don't know. Exotoxicity, the effect of glass beads in stable or dissolved form on oceanic organisms, is currently understudied, posing unknown risks. There you go. Yeah, that's an argument against. Glass beads would be dispersed across territorial boundaries by wind, requiring intragovernmental agreement and coordination. Yeah. Arguments for geoengineering, a possible quick fix. Climate damages are increasing, and the latest assessment report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change made very clear that we are in the process of fundamentally changing our climate through greenhouse gas warming. The risk for large-scale disruption of ecosystems increases with every additional tenth of a degree of warming. Blah, 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 blah. Arguments against geoengineering. It doesn't address other problems related to warming. It is not a cure-all. It would mostly combat warming, but would do nothing against other climate change issues, such as ocean acidification, which is a result of increased carbon dioxide being dissolved into the ocean. There is also evidence that certain ocean currents which weaken under warming would not bounce back to previous levels. Yeah. I mean, holy cow. some people believe in global warming, some people don't. It's kind of a polarizing issue, no pun intended, because polar bear's international. But yeah, I kind of wish that everything was all natural and that people didn't even have to think about artificially, saving the planet through all these methods. Kind of sucks. And by the time everybody gets on board, I mean, it's going to be like way too late. Probably. If global warming's true. I mean, by the time people actually take it seriously enough, I think it's going to be kind of late in the game. But I don't know. It's definitely interesting to me, all of these things. All I want to do is see polar bears, though. I'm a simple guy. I don't know if I could change the world, but I kind of want to see polar bears in real life. I don't want to get eaten by a polar bear, but you know what I mean. So, there we have it. Multi-stream. I don't see any chats. We did get one new subscriber since we started. Super cool. One new sub, yeah. Alright guys, I gotta go live my life. I should really work on these reaction videos though. Wish I could watch other people's videos and react to them. That would be cool. I don't know the legality of that, but if you want to know more about what I was reading here in this live stream, let me send you to polarbearsinternational.org/news media. I think polar bears are cool, and I want to make it a goal to go see one in real life. I think it would be a fun adventure. So, if you want to support me in that mission to see polar bears in real life, all you got to do is drop a sub and a like and a comment over here somewhere. And one of these days I'll make eye contact with the camera and make a good video. But yeah. Oh, we got another sub. Ooh, liking that. Appreciate anybody who subscribes to the channel, and we'll do something cool together. We'll have some fun. We might have a few slow years as we ramp up, but hopefully things will pick up and we'll make some good videos. I got some plans. I got a lot of energy, a lot of ambition, like to explore, and I don't necessarily need my channel to be monetized to explore the world and have fun and make videos. But if we ever monetize this thing, look out. It's gonna be fun. A lot of fun. Okay, see you later. Peace.
Night, Daniel. Oh, thank you for taking my pictures today.
Alright, berries are sweet. Life is sweeter. P.S. I was walking around the farm today and I noticed some raspberries out there on the vine. On the cane. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be cold in the morning and if those berries would be any good, but I think I need to get out there and harvest one last time to get some berries before winter strikes. And I think it's striking. I think we're very close to some cold temps. Hopefully we get some good sea ice out there for the polar bears this year, so they can have plenty of food. Crazy thing about polar bears is that they eat their babies if they're hungry, or like males will like attack and eat other polar bears and stuff. It's crazy, and they're so cute and big and fluffy. Oh, I have a polar bear right there. It's not real though. I don't know if I've named him. Maybe that's why I like polar bears. Maybe it was always subconscious, because you can't see it. It's kind of blurry, but anyway, we got a mascot. He's been the mascot on this channel for a really long time, but I never really seriously thought about going to see polar bears until like yesterday. But it's all coming together and it's making some sense. I think a trip up to like Churchill, Manitoba is possible. It's something I could do. I have some days off around Thanksgiving, but that would be a big sacrifice to make, to go see polar bears instead of hanging out with my family for Thanksgiving. But it is within the realm of possibility. And I know polar bear season up there is October and November. So I think I need to do a little more research. And I mean, there is a possibility. I know I could probably make it work financially. And I do have a chunk of time off. So stay tuned. Support the channel just with a sub, a like, some comments. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.